So yesterday we were discussing on this get call, get all collections endpoint, but we didn't get a response. We got a 401 unauthorized status code. 401 unauthorized status code. The reason is, so we didn't pass this authorization. That's the main reason. Now I'm going to write a positive test case for this. Positive test case means I'll provide an authorization, then let's see how we will get all collections. So let's design that. So I'm going to create one more folder. See, right click on the collection name, 3 dots. You need to click on 3 dots. So add folder. So I'm creating another folder and rename this. So I'm just changing get all collections and add the request, or even you can make a duplicate of this. Just duplicate this. So I'm going to drag and drop here. Just drag and drop. See, you got it. And you change this name, rename it get all collections. So 200 status code. Okay. See, now you don't need to again write this endpoint because endpoint is same, and even scripts also came automatically. This we need to modify. We'll modify. Even status code also we need to modify. We'll modify it. So no issues. Even see, you will get accept content type also. You don't need to again type them. If you make a duplicate of that, and you can modify now extra what you need to provide. So we need to provide API key. Okay. So first generate the API key. So here you have this one also, or in our blog. So there is a link. You can use that link also. So here the status codes I have explained very clearly here. Okay. And JSON object structure also have provided. You can just go through that. See this authorization key. Just click on this and are open in new tab. Copy this link, open in new tab, and it will open this page. Here, see generate API key. Click on this generate API key. So I'll give API test key. So generate API key. So you copy this. So it's clearly saying copy your API key. Make sure you copy this API key now. This is the only time you will see it unencrypted format. So copy to clipboard or click on this. So it will be copied. Then you go to header section. Just give here X-API key. See, there is a X-API key. Select this key and value is whatever you copied. That's it. Save this. Can you see here? Save. Save it. Now hit the send button. So what we have given? Get method, endpoint URL, then headers we given. In the headers, we have specified the API key. And scripts I need to change. So what is this test case talks about? This you should get a 200 status code. You can see 200 okay, we should get that. 200 okay, we should get that. So let's go and check 200. Okay, instead of 400. Okay, so I'll change the my test case 200, and this unauthorized is not the message. So it will be okay. That's the message. Status code, message I verified. Now I don't know what to verify, but I'll make this fail. Later we will see that. Okay, let's save this again. Click on send button. See that 200 okay we got. My test case also passed. In the out of 2 test cases, 1 passed, 1 failed. And see that this entire JSON data, under that there is a collections array. How I am saying this is a array collection. See, there is a square bracket. So that square bracket before the name, collections is the array name. Collections is the array name. So this array contains lot of elements. See, this is the one element, and another element, another element. Each element again have a parameters. These are all called parameters or properties. Property name and property value. Property name, property value. Property name, property value. So every element has some properties. So that property has a value. Okay. So I'll take this ID. Okay. I'll take this ID. So you need to store this ID because this is the response body data. So very carefully concentrate here now. What is the scenario I'm going to do here is I want some data to be stored in environment variables. There is an environment variable concept. You can store this data, whatever the data you need in the environment variable. That data you can use in the subsequent requests. So subsequent request, you want this data, whatever comes here for this first array element, you can reuse this value in the next APIs. Then how can I store that? I need to store somewhere, right? How can I store that? So to store this ID value, this is a dynamic. Okay, this is the dynamic. So tomorrow if some other collection added to this array, and that will come on the top. So whatever the value comes in this first place or second place or whatever you want, whichever collection you want, you can store here. Now I'm going to take this ID. So I'll store in the environment variables. I'll store in the environment variables. So how to create environment variables, I'll show you that. Okay. So if you go here, left hand side environments. So we have already dev environment. You can create a new environment again. See, there is a new. You select the environments tab. Okay, you select the environments tab, click on new. So environments, select environments, and I'm just giving rename this. I'll just give a name. Already with dev we have dev environments. I'll give a test. Okay, test environment. Now you can store another one. So you can give another name prod. So these are the different environments we will have in the real time. So environment wise, we can store our data. Data will be different environment. It's not same. The base URL will be different. And test data will be different, environment to environment. So when you are running on that particular environment, you can select here in this drop down. So let me show you the drop down. Once you create here, so here is the drop down. This is the drop down. Can you all see that?
Yes.
This is the one. This is the one. So this drop down, you click and you select these environments. But sir, how we are storing, how to store the data here? You can come here, key value pair, key value pair. You can do manually also, or you can do through coding also. So how to do code through coding, I'll show you that. So let's go and do that. How to store the data in the environments. So already I think this has a data. Yeah, this has all the variables. Can you see? Variable name and value. So variable name, value, variable name, value. Okay. So, but now I'll store in the test environment. Okay. I'm assuming that this is a test environment. I'll store this. The first thing is I'm going to give base URL. The base URL means the host name. So this is the base URL. So can you see here? apa.getpostman.com. Till this is the base URL. So I already told this while explaining endpoint structure. So HTTPS is a protocol. After that, host name. So the domain name or host name, server name. This is the server name, and that is the base URL. After that, whatever is there, that is an endpoint. Till this is the base URL. So I'm going to paste this base URL. So I'm showing environment variables now itself. So in this, you put it here, initial value. And current value also same. Then save it. Oh, I want to store in the test environment, right? So save it. Okay. Now in this test environment, this base URL variable is there. The variable value is this one. Okay. Now go here and see. So select the test environment from this drop down. It will show all the environment variables. Select the whichever the environment you want. Okay. Select that. See, I'm modifying now the collection also. This part I'm replacing with double curly bracket. See, there is a E for environment variable, G for global variables. So select this base URL. Even other environment, prod environment, the variable is different also. You don't need to worry. So that kind of parameterization you need to do. This is called parameterization. If one part is changing for environment to environment, make a parameter that is called variable here. That is called environment variable. So this is the simple how you can replace. Even see, I'm going to replace here also. So I don't need to hard code. So what is the advantage, or why are you replacing that? What is the parameters advantage? So sir, you replaced, will it work? See, it works as it is.
Furtherly, if we change for that value, we can change only at one place.
Exactly. That's the point. Please see how Arshni is answering, okay? If tomorrow changes the URL, you don't need to change in all so many endpoints we are going to write, right? All the places you don't need to replace. See, now only two endpoints, I have to replace that. If there are 20, 30 endpoints, everywhere you have to modify if that change comes. Instead of that, if you keep this in the environment variable, click on this and you can see that environment variable here. See base URL, and you can modify here if you want. See, even it will show here. See environment and the value. If you want, you can change the value here. and automatically reflect there. So that's the advantage if you use environment variables. So there are global variables, there are environment variables, there are collection variables. These are the three types of variables will be there. Global variable means entire workspace you can use. Environment variable means environment wise, like a dev, test, prod, environment wise you can use that variable for all the collections. And the collection variable means only for that collection. But so mostly we'll use environment variables, and those values you will store there, and environment wise you will just switch here, that's it. You don't need to change here. Only test data will change, not this one. Okay, that's the environments. Anybody having doubt on the environments? Okay, now I need to store this value. How can we store this? See, there is a snippets, ready-made snippets here. So setter and getter methods are here. You can see get environment variable. I don't need now. I need to set it now, not get. So just scroll down. You can see set an environment variable. Just select here. So in this block, you can see set environment variable. So what you need to give? pm dot environment dot set. What is the environment variable name? The key. The key is so collection ID, right? So I'm going to give collection ID. And so how you will get this? How you will get this? You need to give a path. This is the response path you have to provide. What is the response path? So this entire thing is represented by this JSON data. That JSON data inside you have a collections array. Collections array inside you are taking first element of that array. So this path you need to provide. So that means the path means, so you replace this, right? JSON data dot collections array. Second one I am giving collections array of 0. 0 means first element dot ID. So this is the code you have to write. So this is the my variable name, and this value you need to get from the response body. That's the path you have to give. So the path is JSON data, then the array name. But array name, there are so many elements, but which array element you want? First array element. That array element inside you have an ID. Even I will take name also. I'll take name also. See, another one I'll store collection name. So what I'm going to do, again click on this set environment variable, and name I will give collection name. Collection name, and again the value you need to provide. So JSON data, the entire response body will be represented by JSON data dot collections, and first element name I want, name parameter. Name is the parameter, you can see it should be here. So I have ID, that's why I have first array element that is represented by this index, and then ID. So that is ID is there. Then I am looking for this name property. So I am giving a name property. See, automatically you will get that. So this is the how you can get. And so if you want to verify, so this should be an array, and you can check that also. This I'll just put some verification later. Okay, leave it. I'll tell you that. So this is all about how to store your response output you are storing in the environment variables to reuse that in the next request. So the next request, you want to use this data. Now you are taking here itself and storing in the environment variable. You can reuse that. And while getting time, you can use this get environment variable code and you can get that. Here only getter method, that's it. And you'll just give the variable name. You don't need to give this one. This one is just setting purpose. Setter methods and getter methods you're going to use. Go execute this. See that? Both are passed. Now you can go and see here, click on this and you can see your environment variables. See, collection ID, collection name, it's stored here. See that base URL, collection ID, collection name. Now in the subsequent endpoint, I'm going to use these two. Okay, let's go and see that. So what is the next API? So get single collection, I think, right? Get single collection. So we have a get a collection. So this is the one, get a collection, single collection. Now previous one is many collections, a group, you got it. Now I want to get particular collection details. Now I'm going to give a collection ID. So this is the path parameter. So which collection ID details you want, you give that collection ID. That's what we stored in the environment variables. That collection details you can get with a get collection method. So see the method is get method, the endpoint URL. See the endpoint URL, see base URL after slash collections slash path parameter. So this is the one I'm going to use it as it is. Okay, so let's duplicate that. Let's duplicate this. And I'm going to create one more folder, that is get single collection. Rename it get single collection. So meaningfully we can understand if you name it properly. Okay, so you have to duplicate it, not duplicate it. Then you copy to this folder. Just drag and drop, automatically it will come. And then you rename it, not all collections, right? Just it is a single collection. Get single collection. Get single collection. So rename. Copy should not be there. Just give the proper name. That's a C. You can see that name also. That endpoint request name. So now here extra what you need to provide? Curly bracket collection ID. See, you already have this environment variable. You can just give that. You can just give that. So simple, right? Now you need to get that environment variable. If you want, you can get it. But I want to validate, execute this. So we'll see that this I don't need, setter I don't need now. Okay, I don't need a setter. So I don't need this one also. Now what I need is, so I want to validate that name. So we'll validate. Let's execute first. So what you are getting, the path will be different. That's why I'm just waiting for that. So can you see this? Can you see this? The path is different now. So the path is JSON data. The collection is not a collection array. It's a collection JSON object. Collection JSON object. Again JSON object inside info object. Info object inside you have a name. So this is the path you need to write. Sir, this is all complex. Is there any simple solution to get this path? We are not able to understand, sir, how to do that. So there is a simple, and we'll discuss that. First, let me write this path. So to validate, what you need to use? pm.expect method. Expect is the assertion method. This is the chai method, we call this. Chai framework giving this expect method. So the PM means Postman expect method. You have to give expected value and actual value. So the expected path, you need to give the path, actual path. So the path is JSON data dot collection dot. See, I'm giving this path collection dot info dot name, right? JSON data, then collection, this is the collection object, then info object, then name. So that is what now the equal value, where you will get it? This one is available where? In the environment variable. See how I'm going to get the environment variable. Get pm dot environment dot get the variable name. Just give variable name, collection name. See, it automatically comes here. Select that, and you can store if you want. You want to print it. Console.log is the one to print this value. You can print, and if you want, you can see that. Okay, the same thing you can store in one environment variable. So otherwise, directly you can copy paste this. Copy this and put it here. That's it. Okay. Now this name is there or not, this line will validate. So it will go to this given path, and then with this value, it will compare. If it is same, and it will pass. Click on this. See, both the test cases are passed. Response body validation test passed. So this is the expect method is the validation. How to validate in the Postman response body data means you need to tell this. So take first parse the response, pm.response JSON, that's a parsing. After parsing, you use a expect